Okay.
This meeting is being recorded.
Okay, where are others? Okay, let's start because otherwise we won't get that 1 hour
Yeah.
even.
Yeah. Let's start.
Okay. So yesterday I finished my session talking about security group. And what is security group? Let's start with security group first. So like whenever we create any machine or whenever we do configure our own laptop, what we do is we try to prevent any external hacks, any attacks on our laptop by installing certain firewall. We purchase licenses and then we install that firewall to prevent any sort of activity, any sort of malicious activity which can happen to our laptops. Quite the same thing happens to this virtual machines also. In this virtual machine also, we do have a firewall which is offered by AWS. The name of that firewall is security group. So now in security group, we'll always let it be any firewall or let it be your laptop itself, there will always be two kind of traffic. Inbound traffic, the traffic which will come from internet to your laptop, and second thing is outbound traffic, the traffic which will go from your laptop to internet. For example, if I type www.google.com, what I'm doing, I'm going out of my computer, I'm going to internet, and then I'm trying to access some application which is hosted on Google's server, which is google.com. Now, what is the inbound traffic? For example, when you click on any of the application or when you click to download any software, that software comes and sits in your computer. What is that? It is something which is coming from some external server and sitting on your computer. That is your inbound traffic, wherein something is coming from outside to your computer. Now, many times, if you're using company's laptop, then you will see that they will say that no, installation or download of any packages is prohibited. What happens is any of the inbound traffic is blocked. And as the inbound traffic is blocked, you won't be able to download anything from any of the external website. That is the problem. That is where you see those firewall or access prohibited message. Always the traffic is of two types: inbound traffic, outbound traffic. Now, let's understand what is security group. Is security group a component of EC2? No. Like the way you can see in this diagram, security group is something which is outside EC2 instance. You can configure security group to more than one instances also. And within one instance, you can configure more than one security group also. It's not one-to-one mapping. It's one-to-many mapping. It's actually many-to-many mapping. So one security group can be a part of multiple EC2 instances. One EC2 instances can have multiple security group associated to it, and all the rules and each of the security group contains some allow rules. Like the way you can see second last bullet point, security group only contains allow rules. So by default, everything is blocked. We'll see that also. And we have seen in our previous demos also, wherein whenever I was trying to access the IP address by using HTTPS protocol, it was not allowing, but it was allowing only with HTTP protocol because I have allowed that HTTP protocol in my security group. Quite the same thing is here too. So security group is a layer on top of your EC2 instances. Now, whenever we do that, whenever we create any EC2 instance, it's always a good practice to decide first which type of security group, what type of rules you will have a part of that security group so that you can associate it well. Now, whenever we talk about security group or whenever we talk about allowing those or setting up some allowing rules, we can reference by using IP address or by using another security group. It might have like the way we did in our previous session, we reference in security group the IP address, which was all zeros. But you can reference other security group also. We'll see that thing also. But let's create some security group because yesterday we have deleted that instance, right? So let me quickly create that instance again. And that is where we'll see the usage of our security group. So now let me quickly create this. Now, yeah, with this, I'll show you one more thing. Yesterday, while creating the EC2 instance, what I've done, I have created a secret key. And many times, what I've seen is students get this doubt that, hey, if I create multiple instances, do I need to create multiple security keys? So answer is no. You do not need to create multiple security keys in case if you're creating multiple instances. You will be able to reuse existing key also. So now let's launch it. And now I'll be using my security key, which I created yesterday. So if you remember, yesterday I created a secret key, and the secret key is my first key.pem. So I'll be using this only. So now launch instance, and let's give it a name, my first instance, or any name which you can think. Amazon Linux, I'll keep all the values as default. Key pair. Now under the key pair, yesterday I clicked on create new key pair, and that is where I created that key pair. But now I won't do that. I'll just hit on drop down, and the one which I have created yesterday is my first key. I'll choose this. And yesterday I created a security group, which is this. Now it says that you, in case if you go with the, if you want to create a new security group, the name of that security group will be launch wizard 3. We'll see that as of now, we are creating security group along with the EC2 instances, but security group has its own dashboard, which I'll show you. But for now, let's use the security group which I have created yesterday. And that is also one thing. You do not need to create security group with every instance creation, because it might happen that in your organization, every now and then you will be asked to create an instance, because instance is something which is very vital. Without virtual machine, you cannot work on anything. So every time you do not need to create a security group, you will be able to use any pre-existing security group also. So in order to use pre-existing security group, you will click on select existing security group. And now the drop down opens and you can select it from here. So yesterday, the one which I had created was launch wizard 2. I'll choose that. And other values remain same. And click on advance. I'll put the script again. Though it's not needed in today's demo much, but let's do that.
Sir,
And
could
launch.
you share these script
Yeah,
to us
sure,
as well?
sure. I'll do that right now.
Else we have to type it manually.
Sure. I just did it. It's there in your Zoom ping.
Not in Zoom pic, the Gwinnett has some shared drive and they
Oh, they
share
have
to us
shared it.
all the study material. Yeah,
Okay, I'll ask them to upload this. I'll do that.
thank you.
Okay, so now click on instances, and as I click on instance, it is initializing. Now this is where we saw till yesterday. So now today's instance in today's class, we'll talk more and more about security group, SSH, how to connect to EC2 instances, because we have created a virtual machine, and virtual machine is only in Amazon AWS console now. But it's not the way you will be accessing any virtual machine, or it's not the way you will be accessing any of the any of the say laptop or desktop or anything to which you want to have your software installed. You have to have access to it. Even though if you want to access your Windows system by using PowerShell, you should have that PowerShell thing open with you, right? You should have that PowerShell options open with you. I'm not getting this. You should have that PowerShell window open with you. Say PowerShell, if you want to access your window applications by using PowerShell, you should have this black screen open with you. Otherwise, you won't be able to do that. Quite similar to that, to work on EC2 instances, you must have some terminal. Otherwise, you won't be able to work on it. We'll see that. How to connect to that terminal, how to establish connectivity, we'll talk about it. So now, instead of working on security group with EC2 instances, AWS allows you to go to a separate dashboard altogether. Now you see, under network and security, there is an option called security groups. Now security group is like a firewall. You will be able to manage security group outside EC2 instances also. Like the way I said, one EC2 instance can have multiple security group associated, and one security group can be a part of multiple EC2 instances also. So it's always many to many mapping. Many security groups can be a part of one EC2 instance, and this one EC2 instance can have many security group also, or one security group can be associated to many EC2 instances also. So both the ways it's okay. Now you see what I've done. I've clicked on security group. Now all the security group which is created as of now. Yesterday I've worked on, while working on EC2 instances, I've created one security group which is launch wizard 2. So you will be able to create security group outside your EC2 instance creation process also. Now in order to create that, click on create security group and give a name to my security group, which is my standalone. I'm just giving a name as the description. You can give same description. VPC to which it will be a part of, and the outbound rule. Outbound rule is always all. That basically means from your system you will be able to access anything. Outgoing traffic is not blocked. Always the inbound traffic, incoming traffic is blocked. So you will be able to create the security group like this. You see, you will be able to create the security group like this. And now in case if you want to add inbound rules, now I'll go back to my previous one so that I can show you the usage. And parallelly what I'll do is I will open that instance in my, or open the application in my browser so that we can, anything changes, we'll be able to see its usages also. Okay, it will take some time. Let it take its time. In between, we'll talk about security group launch wizard 2, which was there. So the one which I've created just now is this. The one which is associated to EC2 instances, this. Now you saw while creating EC2 instances, I'll be able to associate this security groups to it only at the time of creation of EC2 instances. Now click on this launch wizard 2. Now, how to manage this inbound rule? And let's understand what are the various things in inbound in any of the rules which you create. So the rule which is a part of security group contains different things. It contains type. The first thing which it contains is type. What is type? Type is the protocol, right? Type is the protocol which you will be enabling your traffic to. That basically means the traffic which follows this protocol will have access. The traffic which does not follow this protocol, rule, which is a part of again OSI model, will not have access. So I'm just mentioning at this point that the traffic should follow HTTP protocol. Now, sorry, HTTP type. Protocol will be TCP, which is Transmission Control Protocol. The protocol will be of type HTTP, which follows the Transmission Control Protocol, which is TCP. Now, with the definition of type, you get a port because each type is having a port defined. So you have to open that port also in your machine so that this type of traffic will be able to enter into your machine. So in order to allow that type of traffic to enter into your machine, you will have this port open. For example, think about a kind of VIP meet, and in that VIP meet, perhaps it's happening in a Taj hotel, and in that VIP meet, lots of common citizens are also allowed to enter, and those common citizens are grouped into different categories, into engineers, into business person, into architects, into technology experts, into Gen Z person. So different categories are there for those common citizens to meet, to greet, to talk with VIP person. Now, what happens in Taj Hotel? There are multiple gates. They said that for different gates are created for different type of traffic. Now, in order for any of the traffic, for any of the guests to enter, they will open a specific gate only. So now consider this HTTP is the type of traffic. Consider HTTP are the technical person, are the technical expert who wants to enter into Taj Hotel and want to talk with VIP Meet at a kind of dashboard with Taj guys has created. So this is that type, different type of traffic, different type of individuals who want to enter into Taj. Now, whenever they're entering, protocol remains same. Everyone has to go through security check. Everyone's mobile will be kept because this is a kind of VIP meet. Perhaps there will be some security risk. So they're going to take mobile from everyone. They're going to scan everything, whatever people are carrying with them, perhaps laptops, whatever they are carrying, that has to get scanned properly, like the way you get scanned when you're going to when you're trying to board into a plane. Protocol remains same for everyone, but gate is different. This port range contains it's a gate, and this gate is different from different type of people who are entering. For STP, for HTTP type of traffic, the gate is 80, and for SSH type of traffic, the gate is 22. Now here it talks about source, and source basically means from where this traffic is coming. It might happen that all the Gen Z, because lots of startups are there in Bangalore, it might happen that uh, all the Gen Z traffic is coming from Bangalore. All the technology experts are coming from Hyderabad. All the businessmen, they're coming from Gujarat. All the different category of people are coming from different locations of our country. Now this source is that. What it says is, as of now, it says 000, all zeros. So if it all zeros, that basically means traffic from anywhere. It can be anywhere. You can give a traffic of your own choice also. So the traffic in this case is decided by IP address, right? So here different columns or different options says different thing: type, protocol, port range, source. And when you select this, it basically forms your rule. Let's see in case if this is up now. Okay, it's taking more time. Let's go back quickly because I just want to show you if I remove some rule, how does it impact the access to this application?
So what is the IP for this security group? I mean destination IP.
Yeah, I don't know because I did not see that instance yet. So in this case, the destination is this public IP address.
This is EC2 instance, like virtual machine. I mean to say the firewall IP.
Oh, the firewall IP. The firewall IP is now it says that the source is 00. So what I am doing at this point, I am the user, right? I am trying to access IP address of this EC2 instance in my browser. My browser is outside
Mhm.
AWS. My browser is not within AWS account. It is my browser. I'm opening it. I can open it in my incognito browser, my Edge browser, anywhere. So I am the user. So what is the source? My IP, Chandrasekhar's IP, is the source in this case. Now it can be anyone, your IP, you are able to access. If I give you this IP address to you, you will also be able to access. So you are the user in this case. 0000 means all IPs in this globe. Anyone can access.
Yeah, so source thing is clear, like sources can be anyone, but where it is going, the
It is going to this EC2 instance because the application is hosted on this EC2 instance. So this is target. It's not opening.
okay.
So yesterday you saw,
Mhm.
right? See this application. So where is this application? This application is within
Mhm.
EC2 instance.
Okay.
Okay, so now
Yeah,
if I
yesterday we did the same thing, like.
same thing, right? Yeah. So now in case if I remove this, consider if I'm removing this HTTP, then I'm saving the rule. Now if I come back here and if I try to access this, so it will keep rotating. It will keep rotating. In few minutes it will say that no, you won't be able to access because you don't have proper rule associated with your firewall is blocking it. And that is where I won't be able to access this application. So basically it's not as in my firewall. It's not as in my computer. My computer as in not my AWS account. My Chandrasekhar's computer is not blocking this. This AC2 instance is not allowing me to enter within it, right? So inbound traffic, I'm not able to go into this EC2 instance. So inbound traffic is blocked at this point of time. So I'll allow it now. I'll go into security group. I'll edit the inbound rule. Now you see it stopped and it says this site can't be reached because they are blocking it, not me. Now I will allow it. In order to add rule, click on add rule. Choose the type as HTTP, and automatically it just gives me the protocol and port range. Source is custom, which is all zeros I'm choosing, and save rule. Okay, let's see if I did it correctly. All zeros. Let me just double check once to get the proper thing. Custom, anywhere IPv4, and anywhere IPv6. So basically, what is your this type, IPv6 type or IPv4 type? Nowadays, since IPv4 is exhausting across the globe, those developers of IP addresses, they came up with IPv6 also. So based on what sort of setup you do have, your company do have, you will choose either IPv6 or IPv4. You can add two other second other one another rule also. So for example, your company is having IPv6, add another rule and say that for HTTP, where did you go? For HTTP, I want to allow from IPv6, and you can do this also. Now, in this time, I'm allowing from both IPv4 and IPv6. And now save rules. Okay, so now if I come and refresh this page, it started coming here. So now this is the use of security group. Security group is blocking all the incoming traffic. By default, it's allowing all the outgoing traffic. There is no restriction in that, but incoming traffic will be blocked with the use of security group rules. Okay, so this is about security group. Now you saw this. The security group will be in this format. Security group will be acting as a firewall on EC2 instances. In security group will be acting as a firewall for all the compute type of thing. It is for load balancer also. It is for launch configuration also, which we'll see in our upcoming discussions. It will have control of inbound network, which we have seen from other to the instances, like the way we have seen. We were unable to access when we removed the rule from inbound rule group, and control to outbound network from the instance to other. See, outbound is from the instance to other, and inbound is from other to the instance. So outbound means from your instance, you will be able to access something else. And security group can be attached to can be attached to multiple EC2 instances, and multiple instance can be attached to one security group also, or multiple instances can be attached to multiple security group also. So that's fine. By default, I'm repeating it, I'm putting emphasis on this because you have to remember this. By default, all inbound traffic is blocked, and by default all outbound traffic is allowed until unless you give any rule, you define any rule for inbound traffic, you won't be able to access anything. Okay, so now different kind of errors you may get. You saw a few minutes back that we started getting timeout error. Timeout error, whenever you are getting, it's because of the security group issues. So it will keep rotating, and after a few minutes, it will say that there is some proxy settings, there is some timeout error. If you get these kind of errors, that basically points to security group issues. So this is about security group. I'll give a pause. Any doubt till here?
So as you mentioned, outbound traffic is allowed by default, right?
Yes.
I mean, everything can be accessible from.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Okay, cool. So now it's the time we should start thinking about connecting to EC2 instances. We saw about security, we saw about how to launch EC2 instances. But now it's the time you should connect to EC2 instance. You should get into EC2 instance. Till now you're just viewing, okay, find a virtual machine which I've created on AWS Management Console. And this is that virtual machine. How to connect to this virtual machine now, we'll see that. Now, in previous sessions, I said you that there are multiple ways to connect to EC2 instances. One of the multiple ways to connect to EC2 instances. So basically, there are three ways to connect to an EC2 instance: by using SSH, by using PuTTY, by using EC2 instance. Actually, at the background, all these three ways uses SSH protocol to connect. Type of traffic will be SSH. In order to connect in all the three ways, the type of traffic is going to be SSH only. Now, for different types of operating system, for different types of setup which you do have, you will use different ways to connect. If you're a Mac or a Linux user, we do have SSH configured on it. For Windows version 10 or more than 10, we have SSH installed in it. So you will use SSH protocol for that, but nobody stops you. So in case if you're a Windows user, in case if you're a Mac user, in case if you're a Linux user, if your wish is to connect by using PuTTY, nobody is stopping you. You can do that. But there are easier ways to connect. Which is by using SSH software which is already installed in your laptop. It's there. My Windows is 11. I do have Windows SSH installed in it. Nowadays, everyone is using laptop operating system, Windows operating system, which is more than 10 or more than 10. So your laptop will also have SSH software installed in it. So nowadays, nobody uses PuTTY, but you should know how to connect to PuTTY. That I'll show you. So now another way is by using PuTTY. What is PuTTY? PuTTY is a remote software which PuTTY is a remote connecting software which is used to connect to virtual machine by using their IP addresses. We'll see that. Now the first thing which you have to install in order to use PuTTY is you have to install PuTTY. In order to install PuTTY, this is the software. This is the URL in order to install PuTTY. How you will get into this page? In order to get into this page, the first thing which you have to do is in Google, you type download PuTTY. As you type download PuTTY, the first option says download PuTTY, a free SSH and telnet client for Windows. Click on that. As you click on that, the first option which says download PuTTY, download PuTTY is there. Click on that. So as you click on download PuTTY, here MSI Windows installer, first option which is 64-bit x86 because that is what I need. Click on this. As I click on this, it will download a package for me. Yeah, it downloaded a package for me. So let me quickly see. So I see it has downloaded a package for me, which is PuTTY 64-bit 0.83 installer. Now it's just a visit. Double click on this. It says welcome to the PuTTY release 0.83. Click on next. And okay, it seems it's already installed with me. I'll click on repair, click on repair, and it's just doing all for you. It will be installing. For me, it's already installed. That's the reason it's saying repair, but for you, it will be saying installing and done. Finish. So now PuTTY is installed. If you're following these all process, PuTTY will be installed. So this is the URL link. So what you will do, download PuTTY. This will be the option which this will be the page which opens. Click on download PuTTY. As you click on download PuTTY, this page opens and this will be the one. I'll be sharing this URL link also to this GUINET guys, and they will be able to upload that in your education documents. Okay. So once you install PuTTY, you will be able to
Sir,
search.
sorry. Don't we create a virtual machine and on that virtual machine we download these things, PuTTY and other softwares, and then we link from that location to the EC2 instance
You
like
can
that.
do that. You can do that. That's fine. But why do you want to do that?
It's all about online things. Normally in labs we are doing like that. We have virtual machines where we have installed Windows, and then we install other things, and then
Okay.
we try to connect with the other platform like EC2 firewalls like that.
Okay. Okay. So consider that this is my virtual machine. Everything
Right, right,
remains same
right.
in that way. You can think it in this way. But everything remains same. The one which I'm doing here, you can do in virtual machine because there also you will get a GUI, graphical user interface. Everything remains same. Okay.
Uh, like on EC2 we have created instance. So in that instance, is it possible to download or do other things same like we are doing with Windows?
Uh, we are You won't be able to download anything from AWS like this EC2
Like
instance.
this virtual machine, yeah. Is it really virtual machine or
It's a
it's
virtual
like
machine. We'll see that. We'll connect in few minutes only. It's a virtual machine. So this will be a kind of black screen. You will see that in few minutes. You will see.
okay?
Okay. So now what I've done is, go ahead. Anyone else? Any other question?
No, sir.
Okay. So now we do have this, and we have installed PuTTY also. So now this is the second way. This is the second way to connect to EC2 instances. Now, like the way I said, you can use SSH for all operating system other than Windows less than 10. In Windows version less than 10, you don't have SSH software installed. You can use SSH only with Mac, with Linux, or Windows version 10 and more than 10. PuTTY you can use with Windows version 10, or you can use with Windows version 10 and above also. Okay, that's fine. You can do that. But for sure, for Windows version less than 10, you will have to use PuTTY software only. And there is the third way to connect, which is EC2 instance connect. I'll show you all the three ways. In EC2 instance connect is, it's like you don't want to take the pain of setting up SSH, or you don't want to take the pain of installing PuTTY and connect over PuTTY and all. So what AWS says is you will be able to connect to your EC2 instance over browser also. So EC2 instance connect is a way by means of which you will be able to connect to EC2 instance over browser. You will have a terminal opening on the browser itself. And that browser is not the browser, not like Cloud Shell, which is offered by AWS. It's absolutely different browser, which is not in the control of AWS. That browser will open on your that terminal will open on your laptop's browser, not within the AWS console. Now, Cloud Shell, which we saw, was opening only within the AWS console, but this browser will be outside. Even though if you close your AWS terminal, you will be able to use this EC2 instance connect once you connect to it. Okay, so now let's see one after the other. First, let's talk about PuTTY. Let's start with that because we just installed it. So let's talk about that. So PuTTY. Now in PuTTY, what happens? Yesterday, if you remember, we have downloaded our PEM file. We created the key in .pem format. Now PuTTY does not accept, like the way while creating, what we learned is, in case if you are a PuTTY user, then you must have the key in .ppk format, right? Like I'll quickly try to launch it again and create new key pair. I won't create it. I'll just show it to you. Create a new key pair. For use with PuTTY, the software should be in .ppk format. For use with OpenSSH or SSH software, the file will be in .pem format. So the file format should be in .ppk and not .pem when you are connecting with PuTTY. It doesn't mean that you have to recreate the key. You will be able to convert .pem into .ppk file also. How? Let's see that. Now, when we install that software from this browser, when we install that software, it comes in a package. So MSI is a installer package, right? And MSI is a Windows installer. MSI stands for Microsoft Installer. MS stands for Microsoft, I stands for installer. So it comes as a kind of package, or Microsoft Store installer package is there. So now when you have downloaded it, it brought two things. One is PuTTY, another is PuTTYgen. Can you see on my screen? One is PuTTY and another is PuTTYgen. PuTTYgen is also there. In order to convert .pem into .ppk, we will take help of PuTTYgen software. Click on PuTTYgen. Now I will load the .pem file into it. Click on load. And my file is present in downloads, and in downloads You see, as of now, it's not showing anything because the file type is selected as .ppk, which I don't have. So I'll change it from .ppk to all files and I'll choose it. And now I'll click on open. Now it says successfully imported foreign key, this. Click on OK. So this is the key which is loaded, which is imported. Now I have to convert it. In order to convert, it says save the generated key. See, you see under actions, it says save the generated key, and there we do have two options: save public key and save private key. I'll click on save private key, not the public key. Remember, you have to click on save private key. Click on that. And it says, are you sure you want to save this key without a passphrase to protect it? If you want to give a passphrase, you can do that. Passphrase is like a security, some passphrase you want to pass on. Now I don't want to do it because nobody does it. Anyways, I'm going to use it. And I click on yes. Now it's asking me to save it. I'll save it. It's my first file, but my first key, I'll give him some name. My first key, but this time it's not going to be in .pem format. This time it will be in .ppk format, and I'll save it. Now you see it, I'll have two different ones. One is .ppk and another is .pem. So now both .ppk and .pem. In order to use PuTTY, I need .ppk1. So let's do that. And I'll go a bit slower here because you need to follow it very carefully. I'll show you all the problems, all the pros, all the cons, so that you remain aware of any of the misses and the kind of error which you get when you miss something. So now what I'll do?
Just to reiterate,
Okay.
so since we are using PuTTY right now, that's why we need to have PPK.
Right.
Okay, but we had PEM only, so that's why we need to convert it to PPK
Yes.
in order to be able to use PuTTY.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Yeah, just wanted to double check.
Sure.
Sure. Thank you.
Sure. Okay. So now, yeah.
So, just a minute. In PuTTY, we have both the options, SSH and Telnet, right? In
But
PuTTY, we have both the options for SSH and the Telnet. Like we can define the port number and we can, log in the destination IP.
absolutely. And that is where I said you, if you are using any of the options, at the backend, you will use SSH type only. It's not changing. It's just the version of your operating system with which you will be able to use different tools. At the backend, you will use SSH only. So what you're saying is in PuTTY, you do have SSH as an option, Telnet as an option. That is the type, that is the protocol which it's following. That remains same. It is not changing. Just the tool is changing. With Windows operating system lesser than 10, you won't be able to use SSH because you don't have that SSH software installed in it. You have to use a third-party software.
So by default, it is SSH traffic.
Yeah. Doesn't
going
matter.
here and there.
Doesn't matter
Okay.
what you do. You will use at the backend SSH only.
And to convert it into telnet or ppk file, we are using this gen key software to convert
PuTTYgen.
SSH to telnet feature.
PuTTYgen software you're using. See, PuTTYgen is the software.
This is just to convert SSH to the telnet, like that.
No, this is to convert file to file, not to SSH to telnet. The file was in .pem format. We have used this software which came in the form of a package while I was installing PuTTY software to convert .pem file to .ppk file. This has nothing to do with SSH to telnet. This is just to
But the
convert a file format to another.
ppm file is using for SSH and ppk is for PuTTY.
.pem is used with SSH. .ppk is used with PuTTY. I have two file formats, right?
Okay.
You see,
Yeah. SSH to ppk, we can use this key generator.
Right. So I had yesterday I created a file which is in .pem format. Today I converted it from .pem to .ppk format by using this PuTTYgen software.
So, sir, what Windows operating system you have that we need to convert it to PPK?
I mean, for any of the, if you want to use PuTTY, you have to have in .ppk format, irrespective of which Windows operating system is. But if you are a Windows 10 or above user, you don't need this PuTTY. You see, with Windows 10 and above user, you can just be a one. You can just use it with your, there is a software installed, which I'll show you in a few minutes, to which we call as SSH. Open SSH software is pre-installed. You can just use that Open SSH software and it will work for you. But for Windows 10 or below Windows 10, you don't have this software installed with you, pre-installed with you. So you won't be able to use this anymore. So for Windows 10, for this one, for Windows 10, you have to go with PuTTY only. But for Windows 10 or above 10, you can use a software which is installed, to which we call as SSH software. I think your Windows operating system will also be 10 or more than 10. For me, it's
Right.
11.
Yeah, no,
11.
sir, I'm trying to understand that why are we using PuTTY? Like, what operating system you have that we need to? I'm confused. I'm not able to understand. You said we're working on PuTTY, so you have below 10.
No, I don't have below 10. I'm just showing you. So you see my operating system. Can you see this? This Microsoft icon here, search. This says that I'm working on Windows version 11.
Okay.
If for 10 and below 10, it will be at the
Okay.
left. The icon will be
Okay.
at the
So
left.
you're okay. Just for training purpose, you're doing this.
Yeah, just to show
Okay.
you.
Okay.
And this is only to get the CLI mode of the EC2 instance.
Yes, right.
Again, EC2 doesn't offer us a CLI mode or the like Cloud Shell like that.
Now, Cloud Shell is something by using which you will be able to access all AWS services.
EC2 as well.
From Cloud Shell, you have to get into EC2. So EC2 is a virtual machine, right?
Yeah.
From Cloud Shell, you will be able to manage your AWS all services, not only EC2 or not only EC2 virtual machine. You will be able to say in case if database is offering IAM, you saw, right? With Cloud Shell, I was able to manage IAM, which is not EC2. That is a service which is offered by AWS. So whatever you can do from AWS Management Console, you can do by Cloud Shell. But in case if you have to specifically log in into EC2, for example, tomorrow we will install some softwares like while learning DevOps, I will install Git software, Ansible software, will configure Kubernetes, will configure many software. I cannot use Cloud Shell that time. I will have to have access to EC2 instance outside AWS console, outside the management of AWS, so that I can do some automation. For that, I have to connect to EC2 instances either by using SSH or by using PuTTY. So yes, you can do by using Cloud Shell also, but I want to have control. I want to bring EC2 in my own control so that I can do more automation on top of it, which you'll do a lot being a DevOps engineer.
Right. No, we got it.
Any other question? Okay. Now, okay. So now, in order to connect,
Just you asked questions. So Git and GitHub, do we need to download these things as well, or it is like offered by the AWS
let's
within
park
the...
that. Let's park that for now. We'll
Okay.
see that when time
Yeah.
comes. We'll see
Sure.
that. Okay. So now we do have this EC2 instance. We do have a public IPv4 address also. Now I'll take this public IPv4 address and I'll have to check in case if it's allowing SSH connectivity or not. Yes, is it allowing? Yes, it's allowing. This port number 22, it's allowing SSH connectivity to see it. It's allowing, right? Yeah, it's allowing. Launch Wizard 2. So it's allowing port number 22. So now what I'll do is I'll take under details, I'll take the public IPv4 address. Now I'll close this. Anyways, I've created this. So I'll close this. Now I'll open the software PuTTY. First, I'm showing you with PuTTY. Then again, I'll show you with SSH. So two options. Keep this picture in your mind. SSH, PuTTY, EC2 instance connect. Three different ways. I'll show you all the three different ways. So now PuTTY. Click on PuTTY app, which you have downloaded. Now here it's asking me for hostname IP address. Just put in the IP address. I'll show you everything what is needed. So it's here. I'll give the name as my instance and I'll save this. Now, as I click on this my instance, what it does, it opens this page. PuTTY security alert, the host key is not cached for this server. You have to do this, and it asked me to accept it. I'll accept it. And it's asking me to log in. So now you know the username is ec2-user. While creating, we saw that it was giving me the username, which it will have already created is ec2-user. I hit enter. Now what it says no supporting authentication method available. That basically means you have given the username. There is the password, right? You did not give the password. So it's going to block you. You can get this kind of error. And definitely in case if you are not setting up properly, you will get this kind of error. So what I'll do in this case, if I get this kind of error, I'll close this. And again, I'll open PuTTY. And again, what I'll do is this time I will just type the IP address and I will say ec2-user. This will be second mistake which you will be doing @. So now what I've done is it asked for a username to me, right? So instead of giving that username, I want more automation. So what I've done, I've given the username here, ec2-user, and I've said @IP address. And again, I'll say, okay, fine, save to my instance only. And again, I'll say, click on my ec2 instance. Now, it did not ask me a username. It just said, okay, fine, I'm using the username as ec2-user, but still you don't have authentication. Still the permission is missing. You can get into this kind of problem also. So I'll click on OK, and again I'll close this.
Sir, I didn't understand that. Why did we add ec2-user before the IP address?
Let's remove this. Let's remove this and let's see why did we add this? What is the difference? No, I did not add this. I'm just giving a name, my instance. Any name you can give. That's fine. I'm just saving this. Now, I did not give anything. Now, when I click on this, it's asking me login as. Now, many times what happens in case of automation, if it gives you a prompt, you will not be able to automate end to end. So what you prefer to do is instead of you punching in the username by your own, your machine by itself should understand, okay, fine, this is my username and should allow you to in. So here you have to give the username as ec2-user, blocks you. Fine. This is without adding ec2-user there in IP address. Now I'll add that.
Sir, is your Pigeon software is also running? Like both the things should be running in parallel.
Why PuTTYgen should run? PuTTY software is running. See, PuTTYgen is just to convert .pem into .ppk, which you have done.
Because I'm getting this error every day in office, and we are running like that. We run both the software and then we are able to log in.
No, you will
Not
never
for the
run.
backend logic, but yeah, we are doing.
PuTTYgen is just to convert. Perhaps it is happening that it's throwing you pop-up every day, but you will never run PuTTY. See, I'm just opening a PuTTY software. PuTTYgen, I've converted the file. Job is done. You
But
might
you
get
can try to log in this IP via the PuTTYgen other way.
you cannot. PuTTYgen's job is not that. The software is not meant. You cannot play a video by using PowerPoint, or might be you can play, but definitely by using Notepad, you won't be able to play a video because that software is not meant for that. So PuTTYgen's work is to convert the file from one format to another format. Some security key. You cannot. ec2-user. Now you see, Shakil, what I'm doing is I'm just putting in ec2-user. Now again, I'll click on this my profile and saved it. Now I click. You see, it did not ask me any username. It clearly says I'm using username ec2-user. You got the difference, right? Shakil, did you get the difference?
Yes, sir, I got the difference, but why was it blocking it? We were providing the username, correct username.
We'll come to that part. Did you
Okay.
understand this part till
Yes.
here? Okay.
Yes.
We'll come to this, why it's blocking. We'll come to this. Okay. Now the third problem. Even though you have done both the things, it's blocking me. It's not letting me in. Why? Because till now I did not put in my password. I just gave username. What is my password? My password is the key. Now, how to pass in the password to PuTTY? Now, this is my instance. And now what I'll do is ec2-user at the rate IP address I've given. Now, how to give the password? Nowhere it's asking for the password. Nowhere it's letting me to get in the key. So what I'll do, I'll click on this plus sign. You see under connections, there are 4 different bigger options: session, terminal, window, and connection. Under connection, there is one plus sign with SSH. Now click on that plus sign, which is with SSH. As I click on plus sign with SSH, as it expands, I see auth. Beside auth also there is a plus sign. I click on that. So what I've done, first I clicked on connection, expanded connection. Once I expanded connection, I expanded SSH. Within SSH, I have expanded auth. In auth, the first option is credential. It's hidden, I know, but this is how you'll have to go. Within connection, SSH, within SSH, auth, within auth, credential. You have to click on credentials. As you click on credential, now you see it's saying the first option, private key file for authentication. Now you browse it. And where is my private key file? It's present in my downloads. And I chose the private key file, which is in .ppk format, which is this. You see my first key .ppk I have selected, not .pem. Open it. Now you see I am in. It's not blocking me anymore. I can execute any of the software now. Who am I? EC2 user. Any of the Linux command which you will be able to execute, you will be able to execute now. This is the way you will be able to log into your EC2 instance using PuTTY. Is it clear now? Once you will do it, will be more clear. Seeing and doing are very different things.
Yeah,
But
it is clear.
clear? Shakil, is it clear? ୱାଇଭବ?
Yes, sir. And is this the AWS CLI?
No, this is your CLI. This is PuTTY. This is not AWS CLI. This is PuTTY. This is this software. You see left top icon. This is PuTTY software.
Okay.
We are doing everything on PuTTY, right? We are logging in by using PuTTY. AWS CLI is installed here. This is another terminal. And AWS Cloud Shell is here. Altogether different terminal. Third software.
Okay.
See, this is my PuTTY.
What? So where we use AWS CLI and where we use this one?
Now, what is AWS CLI? AWS CLI is a software which we have installed in our machine yesterday in order to execute any of the AWS command. So that's AWS CLI is not a terminal. It's a software which we install. The thing which we can use is Cloud Shell, PuTTY, or our own terminal, SSH terminal, my laptop's PowerShell software to connect. Those are terminals. Black screen which you see is not AWS CLI. Black screen which you see is your PowerShell. This is my PowerShell. What I've done is here I've installed a software. You remember I've installed one MSI package, AWS CLI version 2. This is a software which I have installed in my machine in order to access AWS commands from my machine. This is what I've done. Now, where to use what? In case if you want to access, in case if you do have access to AWS console all the time and you want to just execute all the AWS commands by logging in into AWS console only, you will use Cloud Shell, which is offered by AWS, which we have seen even before. But in case you want to do automation, being a part of DevOps engineer or DevOps team, you have to work on automation a lot. When you have to use automation, write some script, you cannot use Cloud Shell every time. You have to have your own setup. You have to have your own control of AWS, or you have to have your own control of virtual machine. That is where you will use software like PuTTY, or that is where you will use this PowerShell software, which I do have in my machine, which you will have also in your machine. That is where you will use these different things.
Sir, my background is actually networking, and I don't understand any of this stuff.
No, that's fine. That is very joint. But anyways, see, being in networking,
I
did you
still
work?
did not understand that why do we use it and where we use AWS CLI that we installed, and I installed that on my laptop also.
Did you install AWS CLI?
Yeah, you asked me to
Did
install
you
AWS.
execute AWS commands?
Yes, yes, I worked some on AWS CLI.
Okay. So what do you understand when you executed those commands? Is it giving some output?
I don't. Yes, yes, it did. I don't remember like what was the output.
I think you need to practice it more in that case, because it's very simple. I understand it's for the first time for you. That's the reason it looks more tough. That is where you have to practice it and you have to execute more of the AWS commands to understand it better. AWS CLI is just a software. It's not a terminal. You have installed AWS CLI in your machine so that you can execute AWS commands, right? You are using this PuTTY terminal to connect to EC2 instance. What I've done, I've just taken the IP address of EC2 instance and I'm trying to connect to EC2 instance. In order to connect, I've installed one third software to which we call as PuTTY. That's it.
Okay.
Try to do it. Unless you do it, you won't understand. That's for sure, completely. Theory can give you maybe 30 to 40% of knowledge. You have to do it by your own.
Okay, so
So when we're using AWS CLI, we're not connected to EC2?
No, we were not connected. You were able to execute only IAM related commands. When you executed that AWS CLI command in your machine, the first thing you'd have done is you'd have executed AWS configure command. That's what you have done, right?
Yes.
Yeah. And you have put in those secret keys and everything. You were not connected to EC2. You were connected to AWS console, all the
Okay.
services, which you were managing from AWS, this graphical user interface. You will be
Okay. I got it now, sir. Thank you, sir.
right. So that is the thing. Yeah, you were asking something, Ashwini.
yeah, let's do the same thing with Cloud Shell.
No, you have to do with
I
you
meant
try
to
to do.
say,
No, listen, you have to do with this. In case if you want to do Cloud Shell, you can
Mhm.
use that. But what I'll show you is these three options. Cloud Shell nobody uses to connect to EC2 instances.
In the last
These three
option, there is
options.
an EC2 instance connect. What is that?
I'll come to that part. We did
Yeah.
not touch that part yet, right?
Okay.
You have to wait. First, we are working on PuTTY. I'll show you PuTTY, then I'll go to SSH, then I'll go to EC2 instance connect. Let's go step by step.
Okay.
Okay, I just left with one more minute. But guys, you'll have to practice. That is for sure. Without practice, you won't be able to understand 100%. So the first thing is PuTTY. We have used PuTTY to establish connectivity with EC2 instance. I'll stop today here only. Let's not get confused more. But I expect you all to practice till here before tomorrow's session, so that when we move to SSH, when we move to Instance Connect, you are clear with everything, whatever we did till today. Otherwise, you'll be confused more and more because see, we are getting more technical. Now, hope you're understanding it. where it's not as in I'm just going over theory and I'm just giving you some lectures. No, we're doing lots of practical things. Practical requires practice. Without practice, you won't understand any further. It
Yes,
will be
sir.
very tough going forward. As I'll get more technical, it will be more tough. It will be more confusing to you. You'll have to be clear with your practice. And going forward, I'm going to be more and more technical in AWS. If I have to talk about technology, which I'm going to talk about, it's just 20% which I'm touching. It will be heavy technical going forward.
Yes,
Okay, so
it is clear till now, and we are doing practice as well.
yeah, practice it. If you're doing practice, you won't be confused.
Sir, one query for me. Like likewise, we created some users in IPAM. Okay. But I just want to understand, like you created one user while creating this instance. So are we going to create more user to access this instance as well? Like this is default user, right? EC2.
Okay. So now what happens is we can create user, that's fine, and we can access it by using other user also. But AWS offers a default user login access to this instance. Now what I've done while creating this user, or while creating this EC2 instance, the key which I have created is for EC2 user only.
Yeah.
Same key won't work for other user.
Other user. Okay.
Right? Because the key is a password. The password is mapped to this user only. In case if you want to create another user, then you should have to create another key, another password for that, which going forward we'll do.
Okay. Yeah.
But this we won't be able to use same key for other user in case if I have to.
Yeah, user specific. Yeah, got it.
Okay, guys, let's end today here only. But yes, please practice before tomorrow's session.
Yes, sir.
And tomorrow we'll go into SSH and we'll see EC2 instance connect. Just go through lecture once. You will be able to understand Cloud Shell, EC2 instance connect. These are two different things. I'll show you what EC2 instance connect is, but at least you should be clear with what Cloud Shell does and what we have done today with PuTTY. Sounds good to everyone? Can I expect
Yes,
this?
sir. Yeah. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, sure. Thanks. Let's connect tomorrow.
Thank you, sir.
Take care, sir. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.